Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to this CX talk. I'm really very happy to have again Francesca Tempestini with me. Hi, Francesca.
Hello, Gregorio.
Thank you very much, Francesca, for being here. We had really a great feedback from the last CX talks. This Disney magic is still here. People are asking what you're doing and what you did. And therefore, I said, if I have the option to have you again on the show, it's really great to having you here.
Of course, I mean it's Disney magic. It's magic, so that's why everyone is attracted by it. But I'm very happy. I'm always happy to talk about Disney. So anytime, just call me. I'll be there.
Thank you very much, Francesca. And we already see that you are laughing because you are speaking about your passion, Disney, and what you're doing. And therefore, let's really start the discussion for today. It's about employee experience, and we have really Francesca that can share her experience with what she did at Disney, what she learned in Disney, and therefore we will try to go through the complete employee journey from the welcome, training, culture, communication, and so on. And I am really, really excited to kick off this discussion. But let's start with the basics. Why is it important to invest in the employees?
Employees are people like client, so every person relates itself to the environment around with experience and emotions and what those provokes in them. So that's the experience management that you know very well. So it is important to invest in your employees, especially for two main reasons. First of all, because are the employees the ones that will be in touch, in direct contact with your clients. So if your employees are not motivated, they're not happy, they're not happy, doesn't mean that they have to be very much paid. It's not a question of money, it's a question of feeling. If they're not happy and if they don't have the necessary tools to work, and if they don't know where to look for them, they're not what they can offer to the client will be limited, will not be 100%. And then you will have that feeling of not being as a client, not be taken in charge. Just you won't be feeling like a person. You will be feeling like a number if you want, or a user, not a customer, a user. So something which is a little bit more distant. So every person, as I said, a client or even manager, everyone, we are all people. We want to be considered. We want to feel appreciated, evaluated. We want to be feeling part of something, of a mechanism. We work better where we are inserted inside something, and that when we know that we are important for the functioning of the machine. And that's the first reason. The second reason is because every happy employee is a person that is not going to be calling sick every now and then, is not going to be there physically but not mentally, is a person that it feels involved. It feels as a responsibility of being there. So you will actually see it, you will feel it, even over the phone. You will feel it. It's someone. It's really means to be helpful to you or not. So all these reasons are the reasons why you have to invest in your employees, because at the end of the day, it's an investment that you do on your own company. Because employees are happy, they will feel welcome. They will let the clients feel welcome, and client, of course, will be happy to come back to you.
Thank you, Francesca. I think we can reuse one very well-known sentence that we are all employees at the end, and we are not robots. And we have also emotions, feelings, and if you're feeling well, supported, and helped, then it works every time better, and we can also understand better our customer. Perhaps it's also important, and I think let's not really discuss too much about the difference between being a manager and being a leader, because everybody know that it's very well known. But why it's important to motivate the employees, to explain why, instead of telling Francesca, now you need to do this and that, and then come back, I will give you the next task.
It's a question of feeling involved into it. It's a question of not being a robot. And if you tell a person to smile, it can smile mechanically. It can smile because it feels it. It can actually give a meaning behind that smile. So that's the difference. And an implication, personal implication, what makes everything different. So my experience, I was in Disneyland Paris, but I've been traveling to the other parks. And since I'm a fan of the environment, I went even to other parks out of Disney. And you can tell whether a smile is mechanical or not, whether a person really wants to help you. But even if you consider your everyday experience at the post office or at the bank or wherever, if you have a problem, so you might happen that there's a person that cannot really do something, but it will do the extra mile to actually help you, or at least direct you toward the right person or the right service. Or you could just have a person who says, I'm sorry, I know, I understand, I'm really sorry for you, but I can't do anything else. And it's different. And I believe that the difference between the two is if there is, it's the being really there because you want to, not there because you need to do any work in the day, which might be one or the other without any significant difference.
And we see that with smiling and laughing, what you are doing, that's a really genuine laughing and smile, and we see the passion that you have. I saw also an example where it could help to tell people to smile. In a contact center, I saw that every employees on the desk, they have a post-it with stars they call smiling. And also if it's mechanical, it helps, but for sure if it's really genuine, then it makes the difference and really create the setup, the environment in order to support customer.
When we're talking about this, it is true as well that one important feature of Disney, it's leading by experience, meaning that, I'm sorry, leading by example. It means that whatever job you do at the park, you will always find managers doing the same job. Sweeping the street, you will find responsible people for that team that will go there and help them. Or especially in times of necessity, when you have someone with sick, they will go and fill. Or even managers that don't have anything to do with sweeping the streets, but they happen to be strolling in the park just to have a look at how it's going. And if they do see something out of the trash bin, they will pick it up and throw it away. So this is something that I have been noticing, and that even we have proofs, we have photographic proofs that even Walt Disney himself, when he was at Anaheim, he used to do that. He will go around and pick up the trash and throw it away. So, and that's a good example of showing your employees that you're not telling them to do. You tell them that together you do that. It's different.
Sure, and I think this example is very well known, and it's something that we can really use. Also, the most important people in the company can make something to change the culture and to thrive the culture forward. But let's talk about you, Francesca, because you started at Disney. The last time you spoke about eye level, about what happened, why you decided to work at Disney. But let's discuss really about your employee journey, what happens, and what was the first touch point or the first touch points that you had with Disney?
Well, it's not just the day in which you arrive. It starts before with the letter that they send you. Yes, of course, there is the selection, but when you receive at home the letter saying hello, we're happy to have you beginning from next month. This is your contract. So that letter with the contract, I believe, is a first touch point. And it's not a letter that says, okay, come this day, we will tell you then what happens. No, you have everything in there. Everything meaning all the definition related to the contract and everything they have to tell you by law. But it's not so not everyone does it, because I happen to be receiving letters from other companies that will just state the general name of the job that I was going to do without any other notice, and they were asking me if I had any questions. Yes, I had so many. While in Disney, they even tell you where they're going to put the money for your retirement, for instance. So it's very, very detailed. They tell you, and they have an additional paper in which to tell you where you can open a bank account, to whom you have to talk in order to open it, how to get to Disney or to the place in which you're going to sleep for the first days, by taxi, by bus, and they give you the taxi number. They really, really help you out with anything you're gonna need. And of course, this applies to that. That's a company that receives people all day, all year long, and they know that they are always going to have the same questions. But if we go back and we think about a little and small business, maybe you're going to work in a town next to yours, so you don't even have to open a bank account, so this information won't actually be needed. Okay, but you might still need some extra information, which might be even, okay, you're coming to work here, the best place to park will be over there because you have some shadow, or if you're during lunchtime, we don't have a canteen here, but you can go there. So you always have to, there is the possibility of giving extra informations. That means that you care. And still talking about my touch point with them, it was a counter, okay. It was the letter that would giving me the details of my first day there. But I had a huge welcome written on top of the paper. So you open and you see welcome, and of course you feel welcome. So that as well is an important matter when you go into another job, because you feel that they want you. So it's not that feeling of so why would you like to work with us, like if you're actually
Sure.
making them a if they are making you a favor. No, it's actually happy to have you. So that's something that can let you start with the right foot in any company you walk into.
I think what you're saying is extremely important, to have all the step planned and create this experience around the employee to make him feel comfortable, to enable him and empower him or her then to really to achieve what Disney wanted to achieve. And also with one small letter, you can really start creating engagement instead of
Yes.
sending a letter. Herewith, we are sending you the contract. Please sign it and return it by tomorrow. And
Yes.
this is really interesting. But let's continue.
Ascetic.
Let's
It's very
continue.
ascetic.
Sure. Let's continue deep diving. What were the next touch points? What happened afterwards?
Well, everyone that goes to Disney, in every Disney park around the world, they have 2 days of training, intense training, in which you have the basis of the story of the park and Walt Disney, and how they get from 1923 until recent days. So you really happen to know the culture of the company. But they give you, they give you even, sorry, I'm speaking French. They give you even the important cultural referral that they want you to learn from day one and appreciate and achieve and practice, which might go from how you have to dress, how you have to have your hair done, or your makeup even. They go really into detail, and the beard, and but even the mannerism, and how you have to address to people, how you have to answer to the phone. So why those? Because you have to respect what a lot of people before you did in the same company, and the values that they want to transmit to customers, to guests. So you have to admit to them, and it is nice that they tell you right away, because it's talking clear. They want you to be helpful. They want you not to say I don't know, but to look for someone that knows and can help you or the other person out. So they tell you right away, so that later during your path with them, you cannot just say, well, I didn't know, no one told me. There's no one told me. Everywhere. And it's not only the management that has this task of telling new cast members what they have to do. Is everyone. curiosity is something really appreciated there. The fact of posing questions about why this is yellow.
That's really nice, and I think it's important really to understand why stuff, why experience are created like that. And I think we always that and get information that Disney is really putting quite a lot of importance on continuous training, learning by doing, sharing experience, and so on. What's your experience also perhaps with the collaboration with other people at Disney? How did they help you, and so on?
Well, I've been in Disney for 5 years, and I have worked in different places for a long period or even for a short period. Because, as I said, they like curiosity. They like you to go around and change and division, and even for a couple of days just to see how it works. So so I had these kinds of experiences as well. And what I love is that everyone is there to help you, whether you're just there for the day, so they feel honored in a way that you are going to discover what they do and how they do it and why. So they take pride in actually telling you how it works with them and why it works so well, because they are the actors of and the reason why everything goes so well. But then even on a daily basis, in a division in which I was staying for longer, we will constantly talk during the day whenever we didn't have people facing us about what the experiences we were having and the people we just talked to. This helped me not only and how we overcame obstacles during the day, or helped clients that had issues. That helped us not only seeing an issue from a different point of view, and having ideas of anytime this could happen to us, to have already someone experienced that had a solution. But even to see that a certain person, if when I was in guest relation, for instance, someone that came talk to me, and half an hour later he went to see another colleague just to see if he could have a different answers. Since we were talking constantly among us, my colleague knew that this person has already talked to me, so he gave exactly the same answer. Not because you might have necessarily different answers. It's just because it is nice to know that you do not work in silos, that you work together, you coordinate, and it is a good feeling to the client as well. Maybe not in this case, but when they see that each other, what the other is doing, not the day after, right away. It's like if they are all coming from the same, you have all a big mind, and all the information goes through this big mind, and everyone knows. Well, I thought it was very, very interesting, and it was part of the magic.
And also there uh, we see also now the engagement and people that are engaging and trying to find solution. I think people speak about happy employees, happy customer. I think the next level is engaged employee, happy customer, because if you are engaged, then you can make your customer happy. And you did you explained us the two great example about the bees and the trolley. And I think quite a lot of people will remember them, because these are really simple example that you can really understand, touch it, understand it, feel it, and it's key. At the end, we are all people, we are all employees, we are human beings, and therefore we want also, or we desire also, to be rewarded and to be thanks for what we are doing. And for sure, I'm not going about to speak about the salary and so on, because these are other topics and not relevant for this discussion. But how get people valued? How get people rewarded at Disney?
You have so many different awards in Disney, and top quality programs, as a person, as a team, for achievements, for even there is the first program that I happened to know was when I was there was the feedback the clients would give, the guests would give to a certain employee. So they would go either to the reception of the hotel or to to City Hall in the end of the park, and they will explain why a certain person was so important that day for them, and what did he or she do to make him their day fantastic. And they will leave a note, and then these notes will be collected, and they will transmit into a big thank you to the concerned person, starting from the very first for the very day and night. So the day after, they would thank everyone that was being quoted by a client. But if you added up these, once you arrive to 5 or to 10, you will participate. You will be invited to participate to a dinner of thanking for all the cast members that were during the year, that were recognized by the client. And I happened to be part of one of those dinners, which was very, really fantastic, because well, you felt the energy of people, of the participants that were there, and they were just normal cast members, that they will just do their job normally, happily, with engagement, and because it was a normal way of acting for them, so it was not a duty. But at the same time, you will feel the energy that the company gives you back, because grateful they are grateful for what you do. So and this recharges battery, if you want, because yes, we can work in the happiest place on earth. We can be the happiest person for ourselves, but we always have issues. We have private lives. You have things around that go wrong. So it's not so easy every day to go and smile. But if you do it because you're told to, sometimes it just doesn't work. Instead, knowing that you are appreciated for how you interact with others, being able to leave everything aside, and just to concentrate of giving your best, and trying to be helpful, that is something that affects you.
Sure, and I always like to speak not about work-life balance, but life-work balance, because at the end it's what you are saying. We are all human beings, and it's extremely key that we are feeling well, we are happy, and we can really then start working, because everybody has phases where they have private problems, or they are not
Yes.
feeling well, and therefore it's really important to take care of the employees, not only from a business point of view, but also from
Mhm.
as a human being point of view.
Maybe I should mention that Disney did something very nice, which was more than once per year. They will organize parties for cast member. That was right before the starting of the crazy summer season. Crazy because we would have extra hours. Sometimes I would stop working at 1:30 in the morning, for instance, when I was in operations. Um, so you have these appointments of fun, and it was really, really nice. Though these are important because it creates team building, first of all, because I'm even talking about sport competitions. We had a canoe competition inside the park, so that was very early in the morning, like 7 o'clock in the morning, and you have to go canoeing in the lake inside like the park, or a fun run in the park, which means that when the park is closed, you will run for 5 kilometers inside the parks and outside, and or you will have the team building nights out, and the barbecues, and those are important moments as well, because you construct. I was talking about feeling part of a mechanism. Well, that's when you construct this mechanism, if you want. So you see that you can rely on others on during the workday, but even for fun. I mean, they are you realize that your manager is human, and that you're the person that you really cannot stand at work. Well, he has he can be a funny guy as well. So those moments as well are very important.
No, and I think that's great. And if we elaborate a bit on this mechanism that really needs to work, one extremely important piece, it's also about how the communication works between the cast member with the managers and so on. How did that work at Disney?
Well, we have continuous exchange of information. As I was saying, and for every level. You are whenever you go and you change and you go into a new division, as I said, you are welcomed, of course, and then you are taken in charge, and someone is going to show you in practical what you're gonna do. So you already have the general training of 2 days, but then they will give you specific tools for everything you do. They will and they will give you feedback of how you're doing it, if it's fine or not. So they will thank you if you're doing it right. They will be grateful if they see that you are really part of mechanism, a famous mechanism. But at the same time, if there is something wrong, they will help you out with it, but not pointing at you because I told you and you're not doing this. Not at all. There is an important moment of a communication between management and an employee, and it's in Disney was an annual evaluation in which you will analyze your goals and your objectives, which were personal as an attitude, and the quality of your work. And you will see that you will discuss what was going good, what was improving, and what was actually stalling and why, so that you had like homework, let's say, in a year to work on. So it was in a constructive point of view. I did several of those, of course, since I've been there for 5 years. And even if sometimes not everything was good, or I was thinking that I was fantastic and I was not. So, but you never, or at least my experience is, you walked out of that moment not with angry feelings, and whatever, because it was really something that was which purpose was to help you, and if you were open-minded to receive it in this way, you will have benefits during the year, because you will try to change something, even asking other short feedbacks to the person to see, hey, do you think, should I do this way? So it's not just one day, once per year, in which you say yes or no. No, it's a growing environment, and that helps you as a person as well, because of course it's not only something that you apply to the work, but when it comes to your personal attitude, it's something that you might use even after. So it is always good for a person as a whole.
Sure, and I fully agree. It's about continuous feedback and not at the year end this assessment. You did that good, you did this well, and this was not good. Start again, and this
Shame
doesn't
on
make.
you.
But if I can give you feedback, you're doing it very well now.
Thank you.
And perhaps let's quickly, or let's come to an end. We could speak hours about this topic, and I am sure we will continue the discussion also in the
Okay.
next weeks and months. We spoke about the role, the start, the welcoming. We spoke about training. We spoke about how motivate people, and these are really key steps during a career of somebody. And I used the word career. And what's about the development of the employees? Are there opportunities for internal mobilities, or you stick into a role and needs to wait that somebody goes away to get the new role? What's happened to you?
Well, in Disneyland Paris, at least, you have more than 500 jobs. Not, I mean, division, if you like. So it is impossible to know them all, and it's something that you keep learning. Remember last time we talked about the V's that you mentioned, and in that occasion, I learned that we had this faune sauvage, the savage animals division that would take care of any animal that were not the famous ducks or mouses, but less. So in that, one way that they let you know what possibilities you have in the park is to give you the opportunity to go visit, to go stay 1 day or 2 days, or even 8 hours, depending of the task, with another division. And there will be someone that they will teach you, like if you were entering in there, like if you were really going to work, you will do their live and their hours, and go through the main task of all of them to see. That gives you an idea if you like it, if you might be interested in knowing it or not. And it's important as well because it gives you, it is a possibility for the team to increase their view, because as I said, we had in Disney some values that were the same for everyone, but might be applied in different ways. So when someone from another division comes, and he will look at this and say, why is this yellow? Can we make it blue? Because I think that it might solve this problem. So that gives you points of reflection. And he helps the person as well for the same thing, because he goes back to his team if he goes with another perspective. So in Disney, you have this possibility of changing. As I was saying before, curiosity is not seen like something out of the something very scared to be scared of, to be, because you are actually putting your nose in someone else's affair. Not at all. Constructive curiosity, it's actually welcomed and encouraged. Then you have an internal communication tools like little magazines like this, for instance, in which were released every 15 days. And in any of them, you will find many information regarding the company, but especially a focus on a team or a vision. You would have the ambassadors, so the spokespeople for the park, that would actually go interview and stay with a division, with a person for a day, and then they will share the stories. That's a good tool to get to know what's happening in everywhere in the park.
Thank you very much, Francesca. And I try to summarize what we discussed, and then we can close the discussion. I think, and perhaps our bold statement, but let's start discussing, and then we see where we come and how to close this discussion. First of all, I think the prerequisite for a great customer experience is a great employee experience. What we learned today is, and sorry to use a statement that everybody's using, a great employee experience doesn't happen by accident. I think what you are saying, what you are explaining, is not something that one manager stand up in the morning and said, now we define the employee journey like that, but it was created, defined around the needs of the employees to serve the customer for sure, and with a clear focus on the human being. And it's all the example that you shared also for being with part of the team, get invited to dinners and so on. It means really taking care of the employees and ensuring that they are feeling well, safe, and then they get also empowered to do what they need to do. I think if we speak about the Maslow pyramid, then you're really covering everything that you need in order to make an employee successful. And at the end, if the employees are successful, then is also the company can be successful. Therefore, my last question, I know that you left Disney. What happened afterwards? Do you still have contact with your colleagues at Disney?
Absolutely. Yes. Well, I left now 8 hours. It feels like, but no, it's 8 years ago, and I have been back there very, very often. This year, because of the pandemic, and I've been only twice, right before and right after. But yes, I'm in constant contact with them. I'm even a fan of course, of the brand. So sometimes I happen to call my colleagues that still work there, and I say, hey, so I know that there is this new tea. Oh, I don't know about that because I'm really following it 24/7. And yes, I'm in contact. I have friends there, and I go often. Then, as I said, I'm a fan, so I have plenty of books related to Walt Disney, and I know what's happening in Disney around the world. This is brand loyalty, and this is something I didn't have before. I mean, before going to Disney, yeah, of course I like Mickey Mouse, but that was it. I wasn't really aware of who was this Walt Disney and what he did. So, if you don't mind, I would like to finish this meeting today with one of Walt's sentences related to people, which is, "You can dream, create, design, and build the most wonderful place in the world, but it takes people to make that dream reality." So, voila. you always have to add a little bit of magic to your people.
Sure, and I fully agree, and I don't want to add anything. We see also in your background that you are a Disney fan, and this is the key. The employees need to be the first fans of your brand, and then you can start really creating magic moments. Thank you very much, Francesca. It was great.
I loved it. Anytime when you have to talk about Disney, I'm ready.
Thank you very much. Also to you, ladies and gentlemen, it was great to have you again. If you like what we discussed, please follow us, share this webcast. More than happy to get also your feedback, and let's keep in touch over LinkedIn, or if you want to contact me through any other channels. Thank you very much and have a nice day. Bye bye. Arrivederci.
Bye.
Grazie.
Grazie.